Hello and welcome to Yes, You Are Brave. This is a podcast where we are going to set off on a journey together to find and build our brave, where we explore all the ways that you have been brave and all the ways that you can be brave again. Because even though we may have forgotten or we may have fallen out of practice, we're all brave. And I'm on a mission to prove it and help you believe that yes, you are brave. Hello, and welcome back to Yes, You Are Brave. I'm Pawnee, I'm your host. Super excited you're here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to Chapter 2. And I know that sounds weird. We've got 111 episodes before this, and it seems like that's a very long chapter. But I feel like this is very much a new chapter in the podcast, and so I want to be able to take a moment to acknowledge that and maybe just give you, for this episode, a baby preview of what this chapter is going to entail. So I feel like I need to give you a tiny bit of a life update. So if you didn't notice, there has been quite the gap in posting, okay? It was really pretty good till up to the end of the year, and then the beginning of the year, there's only been a handful of episodes, and then nothing for a very long time. And there is a good reason for that. Back the end of last year, I started dating my now husband, and you know how things go when you are dating somebody and all of those things, your extra time gets kind of taken up with an extra person, and it was trying to figure it out, and then we decided that we couldn't live without each other, so we got married in March, and then it's just been an adjustment period of being married. Living with somebody and all of these things. So life has completely changed. And so that is why I guess you could say that we are going to be in a new chapter of the podcast. So it's funny. I wanted to kind of acknowledge the fact that even though I have been doing this for 2.5 years, and even though we have over 100 episodes, it has been really difficult. I've been trying to talk myself into recording the next episode for several weeks. It's just been something that just feels, for some reason, super big and super hard. And it's funny, and it's something that I'm going to actually talk about in a couple of later episodes, of how sometimes when we grow and we change as a person, we have this different version of ourselves that has to figure out the brave thing again. So that is one thing that we're going to be talking about, is just adjusting, and sometimes we have these life changes that we expect or we don't expect, and it takes some time to actually adjust to those. So if you'll be patient with me as I adjust and learn how to be brave in this new chapter in my life, we will continue to do everything that I can to help you be brave as well, and help you realize just how wonderful and amazing and awesome you are, so that you can continue to be brave. So yeah, that's kind of the life changes. It seems a little strange, a little odd. If I'm being honest, it's still kind of weird to say that I'm married, to say that, talk about my husband, things like that. It has been amazing, and I'm super excited about it. But again, the changes that came from that and all of the work that has gone into that made this a little bit harder to do. I felt like a lot of my brave needed to go into that. And if I'm being honest, there was a period of time where it was all I could do to just not be super overwhelmed all the time. But now we are kind of past that. I'm settling into this new life of mine that I love. And it is amazing because I have the most amazing man in the world by my side, and it's pretty fantastic. So, but just a little preview of things to come, because I do want this to be pretty short. But like I said, we're going to be talking about adjusting to new life things and finding our brave in different settings. And as we become different people, because if you don't realize that you become a different person in different phases of your life, then I don't think you're really paying that much attention. We all go through being different people all the time. We're constantly changing, or we should be constantly changing. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so how sometimes it feels like we're completely starting over. Like for some reason, it feels very much like the first before I was recording the first couple of episodes of the podcast and feeling like I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what to say. And I feel silly because I've done this quite a bit, but sometimes it feels like we're starting over. Also, coming up in the next episode, we're going to be talking about change being possible because we're being open to good things and allowing good things in our lives, and how we can't have those good things if we won't allow it. We can only be as happy as we will allow ourselves to be, and we can only have as many good things as we will allow ourselves to have. Also, I want to talk this chapter a little bit more about unplugging and finding ways to live in real life. And part of that is going to be simply unplugging. Another part of it is going to be learning how to explore and taking time to explore where you live. I think I've mentioned it before, like sometimes we're really brave and we're really adventurous on the other side of the world. But when we come home, there's all these amazing things around us, but we don't necessarily take advantage of them. And we kind of end up bored and not really living in real life. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be talking about redefining happiness and what it means, and taking charge of our own happiness and claiming our power so that we can be the person that we want to be and live the life that we want to live. So a lot of those things are going to be coming up in this next chapter. We're also going to be talking about being gentle with ourselves and about taking time to adjust and not having that be a big deal. Not pushing ourselves harder than we need to, and just allowing ourselves to adjust. We're also going to be talking a little bit about in the next chapter, in the next little part of the next chapter, about closing doors and about saying goodbyes and what that can mean for our lives and how we can use that as a transition period and not have it be quite as devastating maybe. The other thing that we're going to do is I'm going to so in the 100th episode, I talked about the lessons that I had learned in the first 100 episodes of the podcast. And I talked about 10 different things, and each one of them had about 2 or 3 minutes. And those are also, we're going to take those lessons and we're going to make them all into their own podcast episodes and maybe even do some series, because I really love those things. Starting with done is better than perfect, and things like you're never going to feel ready and you're going to need help and stuff like that. So we're going to take each one of those, we're going to make it into its own episode. We're going to explore those particular things soon, more in depth, and really dive into those things. The other thing that we are going to do in this next chapter of the podcast, which I am really excited about, and I have not quite figured out the logistics of it yet, because, sometimes you have to have a full-time big kid job and not just do the podcast. So what we are also going to be doing, hopefully, and I'm hoping to get it set up by the beginning of June, is we are going to be doing baby hype sessions. I know that one of the reasons I started this podcast, I said that I wanted to be the voice that you went to, that you heard, that tells you that you can do it. Because I understand and I realize that not everybody has a hype person. Not everybody has that person that is always there cheering them on. And so I want to be that person for you. And I realize that there are specific things that we're going to do that. So by the end, by June, we're going to be doing little hype sessions. They're just going to be like little 5-minute hype sessions for different difficult occasions or events. And we're going to, fingers crossed, we're going to record those live on social media and then put them up for you. So if you have maybe a job interview coming up, or you going to be asking for a raise, or you're going to be going to a family gathering that you're not sure about, or you're going back to school or setting boundaries or whatever it is, we're going to have little baby hype sessions for you so that you can come anytime you have that difficult situation and get some encouragement and some confidence, I guess you could say. So those are some of the things that are coming up. I'm super excited to get back to this with you, and super excited to be on this journey of brave with you, because there's always a need for courage. There's always a need to dig deep down, and even though you're scared, to keep going And I think that that's what being brave really is, and that's what courage really is. It's the definition that it's being scared to death and saddling up anyway, right? I do believe it's accredited to John Wayne. But I think that it's the being scared and doing it anyway. And so as we move forward, as our lives change, as the world keeps spinning in crazy directions, we can find that. We can find the peace, and we can find the brave to face all the things that we're going to face. So that is what's coming up. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to continue down this journey with you and be the one that tells you that you are awesome and amazing, because you are amazing. Please, please hear me when I tell you you're amazing, and please believe me. Anyway, that's what's coming up in chapter 2 of Yes, You Are Brave. We'll see you there. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed what you've heard today, please leave a review down below and share this with anyone that you feel like could use a little more brave in their life. And if you'd like to follow more of my journey to be brave, you can follow me on social media and link down below. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget to be brave.